use to stitch it the sleeve. Then hold it down that way, and then you stitch from there, from the beginning that way, and then get to the point of the notching, and then you cut your threads as shown, and then you give it a straight line notch there this way, and then you open it up that way, and then fold the plackets to cover up in this direction, on this form, and then you make sure you measure out the total length you want and to know where to cut out from. Right, so I have a length of from that place to that angle, I have a length of 7 inches, and then you make sure it's covering the one underneath, and then you start from the end of the notching or 1/4 inch above it. You start from there to lap, make sure that the placket underneath is balanced enough, and then you arrange the placket on top. So start from there as well to stitch. Start from there as well to stitch. So you stitch from there, going straight up that way, and then stitch to the other end of the placket, and then you go in this direction. I'm trying to make sure everything is properly balanced. Then you can now decide on the length you want, notch it, cut the one underneath. The one underneath must be cut so that you will be able to fold a V nature at the down, right? So give it a V folding or a block folding, however you want to do it. It's your choice, there's no problem. And then after which you have done that, you stitch accordingly. You stitch up through that way. You stitch up through from there, this way, and then you arrange the placket up. Stitch up through from there. Stitch up through from there. Stitch up through from there, and then this is how it will be. Now you can now decide to give the block-like or X-like or Z-like notching or stitching at the base of the placket in order to flatten the edge. So you can now cut out the excesses at the tip that way, and then you cut your threads as well. You cut your threads as well. Make sure the slip lengths are equal there. So you cut it out in that form, and then you repeat the same process on the other sleeve. Alright guys, so now we have fixed the plackets on the both sleeves. Now we are trying to mark the round sleeve measurements of my customer, and then we're trying to show you how to mark this. Then the person's round sleeve for the biceps is 14. That's 7 inches, right? By 2. That's 7 inches. So you mark 7 inches from there. That way, an extra half. That extra half will be for the closure. So you mark at 7.5 in this form, right? And then his elbow is 13 inches. So 13 is 6.5. The extra half, that's 7, right? Then you mark at 7 inches there. So the round sleeve measurement, the fist is 8 inches. Then add extra 1, then ½ inch again, then mark at 5.5. Now 1 inch is for the pleating, and ½ inch for the sewing, right? Then you connect these two sleeves, the 3 dots in this form. Bear in mind that you must mark these at the front panel of the clothes at the right side. Now the reason of doing this is because you are going to top stitch. After sewing down, you trim off one panel and then use one to top stitch the other. Then you start from there and then cut out the excesses this way, as you don't need them anymore. Then cut them out in this form this way, and then go to the armhole area this way as well. And then now do the same thing on the other sleeve. You can just place and record for you to have a perfect or the same size sleeves on both hands. So you can just place it this way, and then make sure that the edges are equal, and then you connect in this form. Then cut out the excesses this way on the other sleeve. They're trying to top stitch. You only do this the top stitching. If you are doing your regular sleeve, you don't need to do this as well. This is the way you do a packet shirt for your corporate wears. For those of us that are learning packet shirts for corporate wears, so this is how you do it, right? Then take your time to cut off the excesses, and then you make sure everything is properly aligned. Then notch the edge of the sleeve in this form, and then we now go ahead to apply our sew. And then bear in mind, you don't sew this yet. You have to first of all fix to the shoulder first before you sew, because you're top stitching both the body and the sleeve together. Then make sure you pick the corresponding panel of the sleeve and fix it on the corresponding armhole. Then the sleeve will be placed underneath this way, the two notches coming together this form. And you must have make sure you cross-check the hand if you are putting the right part to the right part, and as well the left part to the left part. So this is how you do it, and then take your time as well. Then cross-check it that way, and then you top stitch you sew your armhole area. Then make sure you place it half an inch off, then fold it inwards in this form, as you can see how it's coming out. So place it in that form and sew from the center fold that way, and then you are going to place the sleeve to be half an inch shorter than the bent piece, and then you sew in this form. You are invariably using the sleeve to fold on top of the bodies of the shirt, right? So do this all through from beginning to end. So do this all through from the beginning to the end. After which you now top stitch, and then you have achieved joining the shoulder part of your sleeve. Then make sure it's half an inch lower or bigger by the joining points. So this is how you use your sleeve to conceal your armhole area. Then sew all through, and then this is how it got to the point. And then cut your threads as well, cut your thread as well. Then do the same thing on the other parts. Always start from the midpoint in doing your connections. Then take your time as well to repeat the same processes or the same process to the other end of the sleeve. Stitch all through. Stitch all through from here. Stitch all through from there. Stitch all through from there. Go all through that way. Take your time in doing this. Then once you are done doing that, this is the results of what we are going to get. Cut your threads as shown. Cut your threads this way as shown, right? Make sure your threads are being cut properly, and then you bring it out this way, and then you top stitch. You top stitch in this form. Now you get a top stitch from there. Now make sure that the top stitching is smooth as possible. From there, you relax the bodice that way, and then you top stitch from there all through the armhole area. So this is how you are going to do your armhole for your package shirts. Very, very important as well for your package shirts. So this is how you do it, right? So don't be in a haste to do all of this. Take your time to arrange properly. Don't forget that the measurement we are using is the size of our machine foot or machine footer. So that's the reason, or that is the one of the tricks you can use to achieve the perfect finishing. Considering the fact that I'm using this industrial stress sewing machine, so I can use the footer as my gauge to stitch or to sew. So now we are done doing the first sleeve. We're also going to repeat the same process on the second sleeve. So I will leave the video for us to see how it's done. Should in case you do not get anything on the first sleeve, so you can see clearly on the second sleeve, right? Fine. So this is how it is. This is how it is. Then we are trying to do the second sleeve now. So we have joined our shoulder first, and then this is how it came out. As you can see, the joining, this is how it came out. Then let's do the second sleeve. Then I said you place the sleeve to be underneath, half an inch. The body should be half an inch bigger or longer than the main piece of the fabric. The two notches will correspond, but then you fold the sleeve notch to come on top of the main bodice notch by half an inch. Then top stitch the tip of what you have folded. That was what I was doing in the other initial sleeve, right? So top stitch what you have folded in that form. Then after which you must have top stitched. You go again and stitch for the second time. This is how we're going to take the time to work out all measurements you need. So you just go over it again. And if you're watching for the first time, please help me and click on the subscribe button on my YouTube channel, and then help me to invite your friends to like and to subscribe to my channel, so that they will be notified when I am making a new post on sewing illustrations. And don't forget that this channel is one of the easiest and the simplest methods, one of the simplest and easiest methods of sewing. And once you watch the videos properly, you achieve a better result on your sewing career. Please, in my illustrations, I make sure I use the simplest forms in teaching and in explanation that will be available for everybody to comprehend or understand. So you just have to take a time to watch these videos, repeat the processes I'm doing, and you achieve the same results. And then you will now be able to know that there are simpler ways of doing things, which is the reason for the name redefined clothing. So just take the time to stitch your sleeve all through that way, and then cut your thread as well as shown. cut a thread as well as shown, and then after which you now pop stitch again. You pop stitch on the front now. So just place your machine foot to lap at the edge where you have sewn, and then you stitch from there, and then you open up the armhole. Make sure it's open properly or it's balanced properly, and then you stitch all through from there. So now I have finished stitching both armholes, and then you cut a thread as well, and then this is how the armhole joining will be. And before you make this type of sewing, make sure your measurements are correct. That's the only way you can achieve a perfect finishing and a nice sewing, right? Then after this, now you see the sleeve. We are going to lock the sleeve, right? So making sure as well that the sleeve is placed in this form. Then you cut off the excess sleeve armhole protruding on the bodice of the outfit. Cut it out from there. Make sure that your hand is perfect enough. Cut all through from there, and then this is how it came out. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other sleeve as well. So make sure you fold the both bodies together, and then cut off the excess armholes on that area. You cut it out from there. You cut it out from there, all through this way. And then after which you must have done that, you make sure that the armholes are corresponding, and then the measurements you marked, you start using them, but then you push the panel that has the placket as well to be half an inch off from the main piece. As well, you fold the same procedure you used in doing the shoulder area. The same thing you're also going to use in doing this as well. So you fold it half an inch in that way, and then make sure as you're stitching it, you're folding properly, right? Fold it half an inch in that way, and then stitch all through from the beginning to the end. I will show you how to balance this when we get to the top stitching stage. So take your time to do this. You still fold it to come down in front that way. This is how it's being done, right? So fold it all through that way. As you can see how I'm folding it, and then make sure that the armholes are corresponding on the armhole area. So you fold this way. As you can see, that's the reason you must use half an inch to give your allowances, right? So you fold all through from there. You fold all through that way, and then this is how it will be all through to the down part of your shirt. This is how you're going to fold, and then you stitch it, making sure that everything is properly balanced as well. So as simple as ABCD, this is how you do yours. This is how you will do it as well. So make sure that the both shirts are balanced and equal in length, and then you go ahead to complete it this way. After which you now open it up and then fold back what you have sewn. In this way, the folding must go towards the back. Then now pop stitch from the bottom part of your shirt. Now pop stitch from here. So this seems to be one of the simplest ways as well. You can make your shirts, and then you pop stitch all through from there. Then make sure you're doing gradually, don't be in a haste. So pop stitch all through from there. all through, from the down part of the shirt to the shoulder, to the armhole rather, the shoulder, and to the sleeve of your customer. So I believe by the end of this video, most of us will have learned how to make a perfect shirt. Now the next component of the video you'll be seeing will be on collar cutting and fixing, and possibly buttonholes, making and fixing of the buttons, and that will be the end of the video. Please click on the subscribe button so that you'll be notified when I make new posts on sewing illustrations, and don't forget to share this video to your friends. For those of us that will view this video from my YouTube channel, if you are seeing this video from the Telegram group, please don't sell the video, rather tell your friends to join, to pay through that mean for them to be added to the group. All right, so the shirt hand area, you need to open the sleeves properly. Go gradually, don't be in a haste. Open it up while you top stitch. This is how you are going to do your own. So you just have to be patient while doing this. Don't be in a haste, right? Just take your time. You will achieve a perfect result. Just take your time. You will achieve a perfect result. Just take your time. You will achieve a perfect result, right? So now you are done with the armhole, shoulder, bodice for stitching, and then you also do the same thing on the other panel of the shirt. And then I'll also leave the video for you to see how you can do it as well, so that you have a perfect knowledge of what we have been trying to explain. So this is how it came out. You now iron it out properly and make sure your outfit is nicely done. And then let us also do the second sleeve, or the second part of the shirt. So keep it up this way, and then fold the side to come half an inch on top, that way, right? So this is how it will be. Now the one you're folding is the back panel. Make sure the back panel is the one coming in front to the back, right? Sorry, the front panel rather, sorry, coming to the back. The back panel, the front panel of the outfit, that the front panel of the shirt is the one you're folding now.